certainly started off well. We put the ball in play. We hit the ball hard. I think we were selective in the pitches that we went after. I also think that their pitcher made some mistakes and gave us some balls to hit, and we took advantage of it. As the game went on after the fourth inning, I'll have to give their pitcher credit. He really buckled down and gave us fewer opportunities to put the ball in play, and consequently we weren't able to get on the board the last few innings. And in the seventh inning, when we gave up the 2 runs, we gave up a single, and then they executed a real fine sacrifice bunt, and we made an errant throw, and all of a sudden we got runners at second and third and 1 out, and they shoot a ground ball through the infield, and they executed when they needed to in the end.
Based on what your team has done the last 6 games, I know they've gone 2-4 in these one-run games. Could that basically symbolize how tight this conference really is? Because your team won't be going to the playoffs, but obviously you can play with virtually every team in this conference.
Well, I think we went into the season thinking that the league was going to be extremely tough, and I don't think we've seen anything that would contradict that. Certainly, we felt that in almost every situation that we could play with the teams, and it was going to be a matter of who was going to be execute down the stretch and who was going to get the big hit. I'm certainly proud of the way our young men have attacked this league. I think a lot of people perhaps thought that we were going to be overmatched this year, but I think we've stood toe-to-toe with most of them.
No doubt about it. 2 other games you played since we last talked, losing to Broomfield 1-0 and beating Fossil Ridge 2-1. Can you really credit the opposing pitchers for being that good, even though you were able to generate a victory, or was your team really just not hitting the baseball like they're capable of against pitchers that maybe weren't as good as your hitters showed they were?
Well, that's tough to say. For sure. It's usually a combination of both. Whether someone makes a quality pitch against Broomfield, I thought we hit the ball harder than they did. The hits didn't work out that way, but we hit some atom balls right at people. Against Fossil Ridge, the pitcher came into the game having thrown 39 innings and had a 1.18 earned run average. So he had proven against other teams that he was a quality pitcher. So I think probably in both of those instances we just came up against a quality pitcher.
When you look at the entire scope of things, Coach, the entire season, even though you've lost a bunch of these one-run games but have won a couple, has this team actually gotten better, and could it carry some momentum going into next season based on some of the returning talent?
Well, I think in a lot of aspects we've become better. I think as a whole, I think we're disappointed that we didn't win some of these games down the stretch. Certainly, we're looking at some juniors that have contributed a great deal this year, and certainly have gotten a good taste of what this league is like, and should have a real good idea of what it's going to take next year to be competitive and to be a contender. I certainly think that they have the talent to do that. We've had a few surprises in the junior class. Shane Buck has come up and thrown some great ball games, and Tyler Thomas was a surprise this year. We've got some kids that I think can step it up to that next level, and I'm sure they're looking forward to the opportunity next year.